Hello, my beautiful angels. It is so good to talk to you after all this time. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so many months, but I want to give you guys a life update, explain why I was gone, why I took this long break. And I know these breaks that I take are kind of a normal thing for me at this point in my YouTube journey, but I do have a special announcement. I have two special announcements, but I want to talk about the future of this channel. But before I talk about the future of this channel, I want to talk about why I took such a long break. I already announced this on Instagram and on TikTok, but a lot of y'all on there kind of said, I felt it. I felt that this was why you were gone, because I was gone off of all socials for a few months. And that's because I am expecting baby number 2. And this is something that my husband and I have been discussing for so long. Baby number 2, and we finally decided it was the time. Now that my daughter's 3, she's gonna be 4 in November. So I was like, you know what? She needs a sibling. And I'm in this place health-wise and mentally, emotionally, where I am ready. Because for a long time I didn't feel ready for a second baby. But now I'm just super, super excited for this next chapter and just going back to the newborn phase and, you know, just enjoying all this. Actually, I took a break before I even knew I was pregnant, and a big reason I take breaks is to reset, recharge, and I really just needed to focus in on myself, on family life, and not putting so much pressure on myself to create. And so I was doing the podcast, Taking Back Your Power, pretty consistently, but something has been missing from my YouTube life. And so this is where I really started to question, what am I gonna do with this channel? What does my YouTube life look like moving forward from here? And where I am right now in life, in mommy mode, in just living my life in a more feminine way, but also doing what I love and always staying connected to my passions. So I love the podcast. It's something that I really, really enjoy doing, but I don't know, I think it was when I started TikTok, when I started kind of doing TikTok more consistently last year and then beginning of this year. I just loved how when I went on there, it was like I could post whatever and there was no pressure. And I could, if I wanted to, I posted cooking videos. I posted, you know, a vlog at the supermarket. I posted just lifestyle things of me just living my day-to-day life. And I love that. I love just the creativity, the fun, the easiness of it, versus I always felt like this YouTube channel had to be so polished and well edited and perfect, because I've always had this level of perfectionism. But with TikTok, it just felt different. And y'all, I have been creating YouTube videos since I was 16, 17 years old. I mean, go check how old this channel is. I made this channel in 2011. I started off making beauty tutorials. But one of the main focuses of my channel, I always wanted it to be about the inner self. I always wanted it to be from a place of helping others, even if it was beauty content. And then I started to switch over to spirituality because that's what I was going through at that point in my life. I was questioning so many things. I was discovering myself. I was discovering self-actualization and who I was, you know, when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. And then when I decided to go full time, when I was like 21, 22, into YouTube, it was just, I was in such a different headspace and such a different journey versus who I am today. And for those of y'all who have been here a long time, y'all have seen my transition from teenager to college girl to, you know, single girl traveling the world to a mom, you know, and a wife and building a family. I also had the huge transition from the new age and manifestation. I started to really question my beliefs in 2019, and then in 2021, it was just kind of like I felt such a pull to talk about God and just search for God and not talk about manifestation on my channel. And I actually have a video. It was funny looking back. I found a video of myself from 2021. It was like a life update video, funny enough, where I was talking about how I didn't feel like talking about manifestation anymore. And it's just so many different revolutions in my life. And I hope that all of that serves to show you that we are all meant to evolve. We are not stagnant beings. And I've said this so many times, we are not stagnant beings. We are beings that are constantly in flux, constantly changing, constantly adapting, constantly growing. And I know a lot of you, and I know a lot of you personally, because I've communicated with you, or I've met you in real life, and I've seen your own revolutions, and I've seen your own changes, and especially, my coaching clients, I've seen their changes and where they were when we started coaching, maybe back in 2019 or 2018, and then to now, and it's just so amazing to see those things. And I think that we should always honor those transformations in our life and be grateful for our past selves, and that's what I am. I'm so grateful to my past self. I've had a lot of back and forth within myself about this channel and what I was gonna do with it, which is why I've just been really in and out, really inconsistent with it, and I was just in this place of like, everything needs to be perfect, and I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that is realistic, obviously. Whenever I decided to openly talk about my Christian faith, my Catholic faith last year in a video, I got a lot of support, a lot of love, a lot of people who felt the same way, but also I got just a lot of backlash for it. And I understand why, when you are talking about spirituality and when you really believe it, but then you change your beliefs, you are going to get people who are not okay with it. But that's okay. For me, I'm okay with it because this is my journey and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Nobody knows my behind the scenes. Nobody knows my life. Nobody knows exactly every single thing I've carried or I've gone through, and that's okay. Not everyone has to understand. But that being said, this channel has served me so well, and I hope it has helped so many people, regardless if it was manifestation content or confidence content or femininity content. So many people from this community have become lifelong friends of mine, lifelong friends from all over the world. It has just been such a beautiful journey, honestly, and I'm so humbled that, it's allowed me to do so much. So I have decided, with all of this being said, and looking back at my old videos, I was going through kind of memory lane the other day and looking at my old content and just looking through, the different hair colors I had to different makeup styles and just who I was, and I always see like this core foundation of who I am, and that's always been to help people. That's always been what I want my content to be, is a safe place, a place to help, a place to exchange ideas, a place to think further beyond what this material life is about, and just to connect with like-minded people. And that being said, I have decided to close this channel and start fresh on a new channel. And I have decided to create the Isabel Palacios live channel. And I decided to call it the life channel because I want it to be just about life. I want to show the things that I was too afraid to show on my old channel. I don't know if I ever talked about this openly, but I did deal with a stalking situation for many years, and it's something that really shut me off from sharing my life. It really scared me. I didn't want to show anything personal. I didn't want to show really anything about myself, which is why you guys will notice a lot of my content is just sit down talking head videos, because I was so scared. I got law enforcement involved and things like that. I'm not going to go too much into it, but it's just given me more peace of mind to where I feel like I feel safe enough to share again. So that being said, on the live channel, I will be sharing more of my life, of my lifestyle, and something that I wish I would have done in my first pregnancy with my daughter. I wish I would have shown my pregnancy routines, my mindset around pregnancy and, health, wellness. Not everyone's a mom, I get that, but I know there's also so many women out there who are going through pregnancy and going through these things on their own, and I want to create a place where we can have a community and talk about those things, because there's so much I want to share, but I always felt limited by this channel because I was like, not everyone's going to like the mommy content. But then I said, that's what I'm going through right now. That's my life right now. I'm not the 25-year-old Isabel who was out traveling all the time and, single, discovering herself and figuring things out. I'm not that same girl. I'm a 31-year-old mom, about to be a mom of 2, and I have to honor that place that I am in life. And the stability that I live now is something that I always prayed for before. I always wanted a family. I always wanted love. I always wanted all these things. And now that I have them, I should not feel ashamed to talk about these things and to talk about my journey. And that's something I think God really put on my heart, is to not be afraid to speak on my faith, not to be afraid to speak on motherhood, about womanhood, even if it's not trendy, even if it's not what everyone wants to see. I think that's the best way I can show up as a content creator with my busy schedule, because at this point, content creation is like a hobby for me. It's not my main job right now. My job is to be a mom, and I love it. I honor that. I also do coaching. Content creation is something that took a back seat because I was like, a lot of people aren't going to resonate. But then I started getting messages and comments, and other women who have basically grown up with me are now moms, or they're now married, or they're now in just a new point in their life. And if I can resonate with at least one person, if I can help at least one person, I will try to do that, and I will do that. And so that's why with this new channel, I want to share pregnancy, postpartum, motherhood, femininity, even talk about relationships, which is something that I'm so passionate about, and making sure that y'all are settling and you're knowing your worth and knowing your value. And so that's what I want to talk about in this new channel, and show vlogs, show food, wellness, fitness, all the things. And one thing I know a lot of people are going to say is, why don't you just do it on this channel? My husband told me, just continue on your same channel. You already have a big following there. And for me, it's just mentally, I want a fresh start. And if there's something you guys need to know about me, is I love new beginnings. I'm going to start at 0 with this new channel, but I'm not doing it for the numbers. I'm doing it for fun, to share, to connect, to just have an outlet and go back to the core of content creation, because I think a lot of content creators, especially new content creators, burn out, or they struggle, or they go towards the wrong things because they don't have a solid foundation. I want to make sure that I'm having a solid foundation while also keeping what needs to be private. I will show aspects of my life, but I'm not going to show all my life. I always have said that we should keep private life private, and your public life, online life, separate from your private life. And I 100% believe that. So for me, that's gonna be not showing my kids, not making content revolving around my kids. And my husband will pop in here and there. He's an adult, he can consent. I think that we have a right to choose what to make public and what to make private. That's always been my MO, that's always been my philosophy towards social media. Not everything is meant to be content. Not everything is for public consumption. That's just a good rule of thumb if you're starting out in social media. I know there's a lot of oversharing. There's a lot of talking about every single bowel movement. That's just not me. That's never been me. I really believe in having privacy, and especially for security, and especially for my kids that can't consent. And I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate every single thing of their life just splashed out all over social media. That's just a little rule of thumb about my boundaries with my content. And so, but I do want to have fun with it. That is my main thing, is having fun, sharing, connecting. And I just want to get it to this place of fun, because for me, that is how I'm consistent. And I'm so excited to teach, to grow, and to learn, and to honor this new version of me and this new chapter. And I hope that you guys will come along with me. I know I'm gonna get questions as to what I'm gonna do with this channel. And I've had people tell me, Isabel, if you don't believe in what you used to talk about before, if you don't believe in your old content, why don't you delete your videos? And then I have other people who are saying, Isabel, don't delete your videos. They have helped me so much. I love this particular video. Please don't take them down. And so I see both sides. I understand both sides. And for those of you who are like, well, you should take down your own video, stop making money off of things that you don't believe in. And to be quite honest with y'all, this channel is not very profitable. I will say when you stop uploading consistently, YouTube doesn't push your videos out anymore. They don't push your old content out anymore. The only videos that really get views are like my guided meditation videos. Those are like the older videos that get views consistently. But other than that, this channel is not profitable. It was something where I love to do my podcast because I love podcasting. If I could do podcasting as a hobby, I would. But unfortunately, podcasting is like a full-time job, especially since I've been a one-woman show. I film, I edit, I post, I do the thumbnails, I do everything on my own. So I loved it, but it was definitely something that I don't have the time for right now. Will Taking Back Your Power come back? I am hoping so. I am really, really hoping so because this is something that I love. It's something that I enjoy. Empowerment and self-actualization is something that I'm deeply passionate about. And like I said, if I could do it as a hobby and just for fun, I would. You know, I don't care about money. I don't care about views. I just love to do it. And I love the feedback I get, but we'll see. We'll see where that goes. So I'm gonna keep my videos up for now. Just leave this channel as it is. And I promise you I'm not monetizing my old stuff. I'm just leaving it up because that was a version of me and that was a part of my life. It's like burning old photos of yourself. You know, I'm not gonna do that. I look back and it's like a time capsule for me. And so I'm keeping it there. If I decide to delete this channel, I'll let y'all know. So you can watch your favorite videos. We'll see. But as of right now, I'm just gonna leave this channel up as it is. And it's okay. If you wanna judge me on that, that's fine. I'm very proud of my younger self. I'm proud of her for putting herself out there. I was a very, very shy young girl, and to put myself out there and to talk about these topics and to really put my journey out there, especially spiritually, it took a lot of courage. And so I'm not gonna diss my old self, ever. I think what she has done is incredible. So that's it for this life update. I just hope to see you over at the new channel if you feel called to. If you don't, it's okay. I'm not gonna take it personally or be upset. I get it. That's why I wanted to create a separation and move over, because I don't want anyone to subscribe to any content that they weren't happy with. And that's what I am doing. Moving on to a new chapter, a new beginning. It's so exciting to start from zero subscribers, literally. Obviously, social media is huge on numbers, on views, but I'm just gonna let energy talk. I'm just gonna let it be all energy, all fun, and not worry about the material aspects of it. Just see whoever wants to come comes, and whoever doesn't like it doesn't have to. My beautiful angels, thank you so much. If you've made it to the end, thank you. You're a real one. I'm so grateful to those of you who have been with me from the very, very beginning, because I know there's a lot of y'all who have seen me and seen just my growth and who I've become. And I've seen a lot of y'all as well grow up. It's like seeing, I don't know, it's like seeing family from afar grow and become amazing people, and it's just so beautiful to see. So thank you for being here. I hope you will join me. And as always, my beautiful angels, I'm signing off forever from this channel. But I always want you to know that no matter who you may be in this life, no matter what you may be going through or what you look like, always remember your true beauty, your true worth, and your true power always come from within. I love you, and I will see you on the new channel. Bye-bye.